Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you the developments shaping markets, capital access, and business decision-making across Jamaica and the region. Let's get into the stories that matter. The Bank of Jamaica says that net remittances, the difference between foreign exchange sent back by Jamaicans living and working abroad and that sent out by Jamaicans, rose by 3.8% to US $247.6 million in February of this year. The central bank says this is due to an increase of US $8.8 million in inflows and reduction of US $200,000 in outflows. The Bank of Jamaica also stressed that most of the inflows came in through remittance companies. The bank also indicated that the total remittance inflow for January and February amounted to US $542 million, an increase of 4.2% when compared to the same period of last year. The Bank of Jamaica says the United States remains the main source of remittances flowing into the country. According to the central bank, 68% of funds sent home in February came from the US. Below it, similar shares came from the United Kingdom, Canada, and the Cayman Islands. A study conducted by MasterCard recently indicated that Jamaica has only 11 point-of-sale terminals for every 1,000 persons, and only 8% of the country's merchants have point-of-sale machines. The study revealed that 72% of all transactions in Jamaica are done in cash in the formal and informal sectors of the economy, although this reduces efficiency and limits the expansion of businesses. MasterCard's country manager for Jamaica, Dalton Fowles, says there's a big opportunity to expand the country's digital payment system. He also stressed that closing these digital payment gaps would allow businesses to reach more customers and to operate more efficiently. For the trading period of April 24, 2026, the most actively traded securities were Wigton Energy Limited with 4,088,355 units, or 22.14% of market sales activities. Kentire Holdings Jamaica Limited with 1,999,201 units, representing 10.82% of market sales activities. Trans Jamaica Highway Limited with 1,987,203 units, representing 10.76% of market sales activities. Investor activities remain concentrated in solar energy, transportation and distribution plays, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data for April 24, 2026, Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. For the US dollar, trading margins reflected steady liquidity, with the US selling at $156.65 and buying at $157.52. For the Canadian dollar, moderate gains supported by $1.87 transaction spreads. The Canadian dollar sold for $114.90 and was bought for $113.03. For the British pound, continued volatility offered short-term trading opportunities of 37 cents in profits for the banks. The British pound sold for $212.08 and was bought for $211.71. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing for currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas exposure. For our credit report tip of the day, retirement is often framed as a finish line. But for many individuals, especially those entering their 70s and beyond, it's less about stopping, and retirement is more about transitioning into a different financial rhythm. one that still requires strategy, awareness, and informed decision making. A common question that arises during this stage is, does my credit report still matter? Well, the short answer is if you're in your 70s, your credit report does still matter, but very differently. By the time you reach 70 plus, your financial priorities have likely shifted. Income may come from pension, investment, or social support systems rather than active employment. Ideally, major debts like mortgages or business loans have already been managed. However, your credit report still plays a quiet but important role in several areas. 1, you may need access to emergency financing. 2nd, in some markets, insurance companies use credit-based scoring to price your insurance. And 3rd, downsizing or relocating or transitioning into assisted living may require background financial checks. And 4th and final, older adults are increasingly targeted for financial fraud. So monitoring your credit report becomes less about borrowing and more about protection. For our funded and focused feature, for many entrepreneurs, the conversation around funding your business rarely extends beyond bank loans, maybe venture capital, and definitely grants. Yet, micro stock market listings present an alternative pathway, one that offers access to capital without surrendering full control. Still, despite the opportunity of a micro stock market, many founders hesitate. Not because the micro market model is flawed, but because of the psychological and operational demands feel overwhelming. So let's address the real issue. It's not just about the compliance, it could be fear. Listing even a small portion of your company introduces a level of transparency many entrepreneurs have never experienced. So everybody's going to be looking at your financials, your strategy, and even your weaknesses become visible. So let's reframe this. Visibility is not exposure for criticism. It's positioning for credibility. Markets reward clarity. Investors are not expecting perfection. They're assessing your consistency, governance, and growth potential. So entrepreneurs who embrace structured transparency often find that it does sharpen their own decision making, which is a great benefit. And that's today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing clarity to capital markets and strategy. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep building forward. See you soon.